welcome back to a new video. My voice is still not all there. I do have a cup of tea with some Portuguese honey, which hopefully helps me get through this video. Wolfy is over there. She was just scratching, so you might be hearing her voice. She is a little bit, she's looking weird at the gimbal, like, mommy, what's that? And also she wants me to sit on the bed with her so that we can cuddle. So, and she sees somebody over there. So I'm videoing on my new gimbal. Hopefully it's working properly. I did some checks. I think my table is not straight. So for me, it looks like the camera is like this. But when I look back at the footage, up to now, it looked like I'm sitting straight. The van is just a little bit of a slope at the moment, so it's hard using this thing. So today's video is going to be all about my New Year plans. And I talked about it in the previous videos, but then stuff happened. I got sick, so this is a little bit late, but it's here now. I'm filming this on Wednesday because it needs to be out on Sunday, and this is the only day I have time to do this, which is kind of sad because on Saturday I'm going to the optometrist for the second opinion on my eyes. If you haven't watched the previous video, I figured out that this is happening to my eyes. I had somebody look at it before I knew I could show it that way. So they just did regular tests and it didn't come out of these tests. And he said there's nothing wrong with my eyes, even though I kept asking like, but wait, what is this thing I can do? I can't do it right now, but what is this thing? He said there's nothing wrong with your eyes. You need stronger prescription. And then I got home and I figured out I could do it on command. And now I need to have a second opinion because I think I might need Prisma glasses or like physical therapy for my eyes to get the muscles to stay stronger. Anyway, that's what's happening. So, but what I don't really like is that I would have given you the update, but it's going to be in the next video because I won't be able to show that to you. Okay, so there's a couple of loose ends from 2024 that I haven't updated you guys on, because somehow I never incorporated it into a video. One of the things is that somewhere in March or April, I announced that I was entering a dating show, which was called Onderweg naar Liefde, which was about vanlifers. So the literal translation is on your way to love. And the program was about vanlifers looking for love on the road as they were traveling. And the program has been filmed, it has been aired, and I was not in it. And the reason I was not in it is because nobody signed up for me. Nobody wanted to come have a date with me. I was kind of sad. I really wanted to participate in the program. They did ask me to enter again this year because people were a little bit hesitant because they didn't really know what the program was about. They didn't really know how it was going to be. Now it's been aired once, so season 1 has been out there. Season 2 is going to be made. And they asked me if I wanted to enter again, but because I have so much plans for this year, I opted out. Which is kind of sad because I think it will be a great adventure, but there's so much going on in my personal life at the moment that I thought it's not gonna work. Last year I had my whole year ahead of me. I didn't have any plans. I just had it open. And I thought this is gonna be great. And this year I'm like, no, I have so many things I want to do and I have certain times I want to do it in. And I want to have a different life. So I said no, but I did say, ask me again next year, 2026. Who knows? Maybe I would like to do it then. I highly recommend watching the program. You can watch it on NPO Start, but I don't know if you can watch it if you're abroad. What I'll do is I'll try and link the program in the description. Or maybe I can link it in a comment. I don't really know how that works, but I'll try and link it so that maybe you can click on it and see if you can watch it in your country. It's going to be all Dutch, but you can probably get subtitles if you like that. You can have a look at it. I thought it was a really cool program and I felt really sad I wasn't in there. Especially I wanted to have my van in there because in the first couple of episodes there weren't really... The vans are nice, just not like my cozy van. But later on they did get some vans like this, so I thought there was a good representation of van life. Okay, so that out of the way, that's why I wasn't in there. And I just didn't tell you guys about it yet. Okay, so that's 2024. Okay, so now to 2025. There's a couple of things going on. In 2024, I had my ADHD diagnosis, which is something that I've been, I want to say struggle, but it's not really struggle. It's something that I thought I had my entire life. It's been a part of me my entire life. But only when I started living in my van, and I didn't have a plan in a year. So I didn't have incentive, or I didn't have any deadlines, not really, was when I started to notice that I have like ADHD paralysis, freeze times, just so many things that I thought, I am in bed, I need to do so many things, I just can't get anything done until stress happens, and then I can get everything done, and then I rush through it, and then I collapse again. And I had days traveling that I was just in bed and just doing nothing, feeling horrible, being in the middle of Spain, just in my van, not knowing what to do, not knowing where to go next. So many decisions. I had decision fatigue all of the time traveling. I had road anxiety, so many things happening that made it really uncomfortable for me to be on the road. Which I never knew before, because before I just had a structure in my life. I had a house I needed to pay. I had this van. I had this job. I did this. I did that. And then when I started moving things around and I had like a blank slate, I couldn't do anything. And that was when I realized I needed to get help. Plus, I have to say this, I installed TikTok, which I don't even remember why, but I got it. I started looking at things. Algorithm found me, or algorithm found what I needed. And that's when I really got more knowledge about ADHD in women and what it does and what kind of help is out there. So then I had my ADHD diagnosis. And then I had my period in time where I needed to get the medication sorted out. And the way I explain this is, I'm not going into all kinds of medication because I needed to figure out how many types of medication, what medication you need, and then the dosage. And what happened is, I'm a woman and this medication is made for men. And my hormones fluctuate a lot, and that also affects the way the medication works on me. So it took a long time to figure out what medication I needed. So we have that figured out now. What we do is I have a certain dosage, and then like 2 days before I get my period, I take a higher dosage. And then like at the last day of my period, I go back to the lower dosage. And that helps I think it is oestrogen. There's a hormone that if you have less of the hormone, you have less dopamine, or you make less, whatever. There's a whole thing about it. I don't know. Anyway, we got that figured out, but it took months. It took months to figure this out, which was a whole roller coaster, because it's like a dopamine roller coaster going through that. I was tripping some of the times, couldn't eat, it was really weird. But now we're out of the woods, it's not out of the woods. I wasn't dying, but like we're out of that whole trial and error. I think that's the right word. And now I have that medication. Before I got to learn more about ADHD, so before the diagnosis, I started leaning more into the idea that I might not be ADHD, I might be ADHD, which also means I might be on the autism spectrum. And that's a whole different story. And because I was already going to the ADHD diagnosis, they have separate, I don't really know how that works, but it's separate. At least I got sent, I think there's also ways in the Netherlands to have it checked both, or diagnosed both, or diagnosed one at a time but at the same company. I don't know, but I have to go through this entire thing again, but now for autism. So that's a thing that's going to be picked up in the beginning of 2025. They're going to see if I have autism. There's a chance I don't have autism, or I'm not on the autism spectrum. I don't really know how to say these things and not offend anyone. I'm new to this, guys. I'm so sorry. If I'm offending you with phrasing it wrong, please educate me. Don't punish me. Educate me. Comment below how I should be phrasing this. But I have autism, or I am on the autism spectrum. Maybe. So we're going to have that figured out. Because there are just things that we talked about in ADHD that I had. I didn't just have medication. There was a whole thing. I was talking to a therapist and all that, but that has stopped now because it was just a short period of time that was happening. There were things that I experienced that are not or might not be ADHD related. Now there are a lot of options out there. It could be ADHD related and then I have PTSD. It could be ADHD related and then I don't know, could be all sorts of things. But there is a chance I might be on the autism spectrum, and we're going to have that figured out. While this is happening, I am doing EMDR. And I'm doing that because I've had a lot of bullying in the past, and there's just a lot of trauma stored up in my body, and I can't get over it. And there are things that have happened to me, and I don't want to cry right now. I'm trying not to, but I had EMDR yesterday, so it's still fresh. But there have been things happening to me in my life that I cannot understand why they have happened, and they were traumatic. And I cannot get past them. I don't want to cry because I don't have to, because I'm feeling better. Wolfy's like, Mommy, what's happening? Bobby, that's me, boy, that's me. And I'm trying to have these sorted. I'm trying to have my body work past these things, give it a place in my body, let go of all the stress that's still attached to it so that I can feel better. Oh, I didn't know I was going to cry in this video. Anyway, that's also happening. Okay. That's enough about EMDR. So I'm having that, and then there's also, I think, some coaching that's going to be linked to that. So those are the reasons, or some of the reasons, why I didn't travel this winter. Because the past winters I've left to like flee the cold. And a couple of the reasons are that I'm still doing these things and trying to get my mental health back in order. When I started my YouTube channel, I never thought I would be talking about mental health. There were some times along the way that I was talking about mental health because I thought, it was interesting to show these things. And I never thought my channel would be about mental health because when I started living in my van, I had struggles. I just didn't know that these were struggles you don't have to have in your life and that you can do something about them. So my channel is probably going to morph into more about mental health and mental health struggles and what I'm going through. And at first I didn't like that. I wanted it to be all about van life build, van life things, van life dogs. But this is what came out of me when I started doing van life. So to me it is van life related, because there are things I love about van life and there are things that I struggle with a lot. And that make it super scary. And I think it's really important to share these things and to talk about it. One of the other things that I'm a little bit worried about is oversharing. Putting everything out there in the internet and everybody knowing all about your business. And not being able to take it back if you want to. So, yeah, I have decided that oversharing, I'm going to let go of oversharing. I hope I can do that. I'm going to let go of being scared of oversharing. Let's just put it that way. And just hope for the best. Wolfy. So that's happening. Then, also, I never talked to you guys. I have little weights because I kept having back pains. So many back pains. I had somewhere in October, November, I had 2 elbows that were like tennis elbows. I don't know how you call it. My hands, I have carpal tunnel syndrome, so my hands are usually hurting if I do manual labor. My neck is always tensed. Now, this can be related to this eye thing that's happening, or just being on any spectrum in particular, or how do you say that, in general, any spectrum in general, because there are so many things, health things that can be related to that. But I didn't really figure out what is going on. What I did figure out is how to fix it. Is the muscles that are like over here in the back, they were somehow underdeveloped or not working properly. So I'm doing little exercises that I got from my physical therapist. I will make a video about it and insert it here so you can see what I'm doing. I've been doing these. I did kind of stop doing them when I was sick. I need to pick it up again and do it every day to train my muscles so that the proper muscles in my body are being used for movements, which also mean that my elbows and my hands and everything are not doing the wrong movements and getting hurt in the process. So it's really important to get these muscles stronger, not tighter, stronger, so that other muscles can relax more and everything will be balanced more when I lift things or build things or move things or use paint brushes or whatever, that my body will be stronger to do these movements. So that's something I'm doing. So that's my mental health journey. And then there's the fact that when I started living in my van, I just thought I'm jumping in the deep end. And I was living in my van. I only had, I think, €1,000 left. And I was living in my van for a month. I didn't really know where to go. I didn't really know what to do. And then I needed a job. And then I thought, okay, I have a lot of degrees. I have a little business. I'll just go and work with kids, which I did. But I've come to the realization that I need to grow as a business. So I contacted a daycare center for kids, and I'm in, how do you say that? I'm talking to them about if there's an option, if it's an option for me to go work there. And now my plan is to work for a certain amount of time, have so many savings that I can travel and not go to Spain and Portugal this year, but maybe go to, is that Schengen? Like Sweden, Norway. I think Finland is a little bit far. That's not really on my radar, but maybe if I go there, I might like that, go there too. So like Norway, Sweden, and otherwise maybe UK. I love going to the UK, but I'm really scared by the fact that I have to drive on the wrong side of the road. So that's, I love UK and England, how do you say that? UK, Ireland, and Scotland. But maybe not this year, maybe another year. And also I'd like to go to Disneyland. I've been talking about Disneyland for so long. I wanted to go there last year in April. Maybe this year for my birthday I can go there. I can try and make it work. I just have to find somebody that wants to come with me, and then I can leave my dogs with my parents. I would love to go there. And if I just have a couple of weeks off, France is beautiful in spring or summer, also fall, but spring or summer it's beautiful, so I might go there. And in the process of me trying to get more grip on my company and on my business related things and looking into like what can I do, I also found out that I can do a short, I think it's a 12-week or 10-week schooling into becoming an interior designer or an interior specialist or an interior stylist. I don't really know what the proper English phrase for it is, because I really like that. I'm really good at it. And combining the experience with children, I thought I can become an interior stylist for either tiny houses or maybe vans with clever solutions, and or maybe vegans with like vegan solutions for stuff, like nice couches of vegan leather or something. Or people that don't have a really big house, but they have kids, but they like things to be tidy, or they like things to be, yeah, just, I have so many ideas. And I would like to get any of that. I'm looking into doing that school, but that means if I'm going to do that, that means that I'm going to have homework, which is not a big deal. I'm going to love that probably, drawing houses and stuff. But that means that I have to commit to staying in the Netherlands until the first week of June. And I'm probably going to stay here until June anyway, with all the other things that are happening. But that means that I will be able to travel from the beginning of June, which is a beautiful time in the year to go travel. And we probably will go to Schengen then. Hopefully I'm feeling a lot better. Things are sorted out. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. So that's also a thing that I'm looking into. So the past 2 years have been about me wanting to grow my channel, which I still do. I'm still investing. I bought a little course about like these gimbal things and sound and just how to tell a story and all that stuff. And I'm doing that. But I thought by this time that I would be making so much money on my YouTube channel that I would be able to travel full time and pay for it with my YouTube channel. Now the cycle is, of course, as long as I'm not traveling, the content on my YouTube channel is different than the content would be if I am traveling. So that's also like a vicious cycle. But if I have enough money to travel for a long time, I will focus again on the YouTube channel travel content. Now it's more about me living in the van, experiencing my life in the Netherlands in the van, and things I do, and short trips like my tattoo trip I did last year, and maybe I'll have a trip going to Disneyland, I don't know. But those are things I'm up to myself this year. And another thing is that about the dogs are doing good. Bobby is turning 12 this year, and that's like for me, from this time on, he's like living on borrowed time. He's not, because he's not sick or anything, but I really would like to have him as strong as, as how do you say that? Like as vital as possible for as long as possible. Is it vital? Is that the right word? Like good condition, so that if he gets older, his muscles decline. Is that the word? And then if he has a lot of muscle, he can use a lot of muscle. He can lose a lot of muscle before we start noticing. So I was looking, because they love running and they do kind of pull on the leash if they have a little harness. So now I'm looking into doing, I think I just looked it up. The English word is like a scooter, 2 wheels. You can with your foot go like that. The Dutch word is a step. And I'm looking into buying one that I can put somewhere in the van. And then I can get this right fitted harness for them, and they can pull the scooter. And the thing about this is not that I really want them to pull me forward, because they are tiny little dogs. The thing is that they can pull on a lead, and they can run with like a little bit of a pulling traction to it, so that they can train their muscles. Because Pilou really has really little muscles in their hind legs. They're really tiny. And I always think, like, why doesn't she have like really muscle? Because she doesn't like high grass. She doesn't really like getting her feet dirty, so she's like dainty. But she does like running. So I thought if I can have them pull or at least run with the scooter, they might get some more exercise out of it. Plus, it's not something that will drain a lot of energy from me, because I have to I don't have a lot of energy all the time. So I have to spare my energy. So if I work all day, I want them to have a good workout somewhere during that day. So in the morning or in the lunch break or in the afternoon. And it would be nice if I can just sit, go on the scooter and they can run. Of course, I have to build that. I have to build their, what's the word? I have to build up so that I don't let them run for an hour immediately and they get ill. But that's things I'm looking at, because it's going to be a big investment. Plus, I don't know where to put the scooter. I have to make a place somewhere to put it. But that might be fun. So I'm looking into doing that. I've also looked at the canicross, but I don't think my body is suitable for running. Plus, that'll cost me so much energy that I don't know if I'm going to be doing that. And cani biking, I think I would have to, or it's like bike touring. I think a scooter is easier to put in the van than a bike. I don't think I can put a bike anywhere. I have to take it, as if I have to take a steering handle off, I'm gonna be how do you say that? It's gonna be such a hassle to take it out. I'm just never gonna take it out. I know myself. I know that's the way it's gonna be. Okay, this video is super long now, so I'm gonna make an end to the video. These are my plans for 2025. If you have any questions, if you have any suggestions, so if you're like, oh, but you could also do this with your dogs. I wanted to do skating, but then I talked to a person that sells these harnesses, and they said dogs running on hard ground is not really good for their joints and the grip on their feet. They might hurt their paws. She said it's good to go like off road, like off the hard, like the pavements. And that's why I cannot do skating, because I wanted to do skating because I have skates and I like that. And then she said it's better to not do that. And so then I thought, okay, I might use a scooter. If you have any suggestions about exercising my dogs in a way that they can run and that I don't really need to have a lot of exercise with it. That sounds a little bit lazy, but it's just I want them to have more running and I don't really need to run more myself. Please let me know, because maybe there's things that I haven't thought of yet. They are tiny though. They're super tiny. So they won't be able to pull like a sled or anything like that. If you have any experience with anything else or you have any suggestions, please let me know. I would love to hear from you. So that's my plan for 2025. I don't know what we'll be doing in the next video. There's a couple of things I want to be doing on the van, but I don't know if I have time to do those. And there are, what is happening? I don't know. There's stuff happening. I probably will have more to say about my eyes in the next video. So I'm going to end it here because this video is super long. Thank you so much for watching. I'm going to drink my tea. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I will see you in the next one. And in the meantime, don't forget to say yes to new adventures.